It's been 10 years is a little wild, surreal to me. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, and I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest. A lot can happen in 10 years. It's incredible when you look back on something that started out of a co-working space and to realize that it has become what it is, a known quantity in the media landscape of the continent and an integral part of the technology ecosystem. It's been 10 years and TechCabal Media is what it is today. Back then, if you were trying to cover mainstream technology news or stuff that was of global interest, you were always behind just because of the geographical proximity to those events. And it made no sense to me that we were constantly playing catch up when there were things happening right in front of us in our backyard that we could be interacting with, that we could be asking questions about, meeting with the people who were working on those things and giving people the real backstories of what was going on in technology in Lagos, in Nigeria. So that is why I started TechCabal, out of the Co-Creation Hub in 2013.
I joined BCM in January of 2018. I took over from Sheyi. I had to drag Bankole back from backpacking in East Africa. That year, 2018, was incredibly zany. We had this massive wall of ideas in our Ilukweju cavern. It was this office with no windows and felt like a basement. So we painted it white with lots of lights. It was one of the zaniest but most productive periods of time in the company's history. One of our investors came in, looked around, and was like, what is going on? This isn't a company. This is a bunch of people playing. But out of that play came incredible projects like Tech Women Lagos, where we profiled 50 women in technology in Lagos and took incredible photos of them and showcased them. It came out of Bankole wanting to make founders and people within the tech ecosystem look like superheroes. And that's how we still see the builders in the tech ecosystem. In Nigeria, across Africa, the people that make things happen, we think they're superheroes. We want to tell their stories. We want to show the impact of the work they do. We want the entire world to know about the work that they do.
Starting up was not easy. We had to decide what kind of stories we wanted to write and what kind of stories would get us the views we needed. And so it was relevance, but also views, so that I, as a business person, could sell my markets. I like that we still have that balance of things that are important to tech ecosystem, like OGs, but also to people that are trying to enter the industry and understand the industry.
I loved the newsroom. I loved working in the newsroom. I loved writing and reporting about tech. I loved that you had control over the kinds of stories you wanted to write about, and you were encouraged to follow your interests, to follow subjects that mattered to you, subjects that you cared about, and that was very important to me when I was looking to join CC. So I'm really glad that happened.
I've admired TechCabal for its innovation, the really mature conversations that it is having around tech and the startup economy. I admired some of the reporters and some of the other staff, the CEO, and all the vision that has been put into this really, really excellent product. I believe that tech will change Africa, will change where we're going. And for me to be a part of this journey has just been exciting. I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
The first few months were interesting because at the time my computer was broken and I couldn't afford to replace it right away. So there was a stretch of time where I was running TechCabal entirely off of a mobile phone, a Nokia E63, working off of the WordPress app directly from the phone, and I would type all the articles and stuff. And if I needed to do any backend configuration or tweak any of the plugins or edit any of the PHP, then I would need to log into cPanel from the phone. And that's how it was for a while until I was able to put some cash together to buy a new computer off of side gigs and stuff that I was doing at the time. In 2014, we organized a startup competition and we were able to raise a prize of $20,000 from sponsors, to give to the people who came through that process. We had a lot of support from the community, from local investors. And I think that the TechCabal battlefield was one of the things that made us realize that TechCabal's role in the ecosystem could be significant.
It's been interesting seeing the TechCabal go from one reporter, two reporters, to having things like deputy editors and managing editors. It is honestly something that we dreamed about, sketched, went, oh my God, maybe we'll have enough money in a few years, and to finally see it happen have been tremendous. I like the fact that There's news articles, but also obviously events. As the former MC of a lot of events that TechCabal had, I am excited to see how the events have grown and become bigger and bigger. It's important to me that I've also seen that TechCabal does events in Nigeria and supports with events even outside Nigeria. That just means we're following the roadmap of trying to be truly Pan-African and global. So congratulations to everybody on the team for making that happen.
I remember in 2019 and 2020 during the bike hailing wars, where everybody was getting into bike hailing in Lagos, and Abubakar Idris was on top of that situation. Nobody covered Opay and Max and all those companies like TC. People looked up to TC daily, and the website in particular, to follow what was happening between the bike hailing companies and the Lagos state government. And you can see that that has sort of continued. So last year, with all the issues around workplace harassment and the quality of staff welfare, TechCabal was also the place people came to read those kinds of stories. And it's always going to be that way, I think, because no matter the kinds of publications you have covering tech in Africa, whether from Europe or from America, at the end of the day, it's the publication that is closest to the people and that is closest to the companies that will be able to cover the issues best.
TechCabal is looking to expand to become a more Pan-African product. We're looking to grow our regions in East Africa, North Africa, Francophone, and even Southern Africa, where there's a lot of activity in the startup economy space. We believe that at TechCabal, we've got plans that are going to revolutionize the way we report in tech journalism. We've got really specialists in their fields in North Africa, covering anything from founders to VCs to the entrepreneurs who are just entering into tech. And we believe that we can make a change and make the rest of Africa sit up and take notice, make the rest of the world sit up and take notice of us as well.
Congratulations, TC. I look forward to the next 10 years. I know there's virtual stuff coming, there's AI stuff coming, and I just look forward to the different ways you will blow my mind.
The mission hasn't changed, the premise hasn't changed. Our original intent to tell interesting stories, to convene interesting conversations, to help people understand what is going on in the ecosystem, to provide insight. And as the world flattens, becomes a much smaller place because technology is bringing us closer, it means that those conversations can become much more robust, much deeper. And I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's supported us to this point, everyone who believed in us. And I'm very excited about the team that Tomiwa has built, both at the TechCabal level and its editorial bench, as well as the broader BigCabal media enterprise.
When we started, we didn't start out covering Nigerian tech ecosystem. We started out covering Yaba in Lagos. Like a few crazy people with unruly hair doing interesting things. And we've grown from that to cover Lagos, to cover Nigeria, to cover Africa. And when we go to South Africa, and people say they read us, and we go to North Africa, and people say, you should come, and we go to Francophone Africa, and they say, you're not covering us enough, come do more. It's exciting to us because we matter to these places, and we want to meet up to the responsibility of covering those places with depth, with detail, with a richness of purpose. And that's the work that we're excited about over the next 5 to 10 years. So come with us, join the cabal. We look forward to telling more incredible stories with you all. Thank you.